So you come to Valitron and you would sign up. I've already have my details saved. So I click sign in, and then just here in the top right hand corner, I would select new job. It just so happens that I'm actually hiring right now for a social media manager. You would enter a job description at this stage. Now I already have one kind of pre-prepared, so you would kind of enter that, and this is very simple. Click continue, you then click generate interview. And then a custom link is prepared, which you then send out to a cohort of applicants for the very job that you have provided. Now, I'm going to show you a demonstration of the AI interview in real time, and I am going to be applying for the role of social media manager, even though, please note, I'm not an expert in social media management. I'm going to try and bamboozle Valitron a little bit and sidestep and meander and blag it completely. And what you'll see from the AI interview is the probing nature of Valitron's technology. It should be able to determine that I am a little bit of a fraudster here. So you click on try the interview and make sure the camera and the microphone is working, and we begin.
Hi, Abbas. Thank you for taking the time today. You're interviewing for the social media manager role. Just to let you know, this session is recorded and will be shared with the employer. I'd also ask that you keep your webcam on throughout the interview. Feel free to relax and answer as naturally as you would with any human interviewer. Are you okay to proceed?
Yes, by all means, looking forward to it.
Great, let's get started. One of the key objectives for this role is to execute the full social media strategy that significantly increases followers on LinkedIn and Twitter. Could you describe a significant accomplishment from your career that's most similar to that objective?
Well, I've been posting on social media now since the beginning of the social media revolution, and I have engaged with a number of different platforms, written a number of different posts ranging in different geographies and different perspectives, and they've been really well received.
Thanks for that. Could you give me a specific example of a campaign or project where your efforts directly increased follower numbers or engagement? What were the exact results in numbers or percentages?
Well, I remember a time that, I posted on behalf of, my family. And, I really consider myself to be somewhat of an expert in Facebook, I must say.
Thanks for sharing that personal example. Could you describe a more professional scenario where you developed a social media strategy and saw measurable growth? For example, increasing a company's followers or engagement numbers. What was your exact role in that, and what results did you achieve?
So, at my own company, we've detailed many strategies.
Got it. So you were leading the strategy and ensuring the execution. Let's shift a bit. If you were hired for this role and needed to quickly grow our LinkedIn and Twitter presence from a few hundred to thousands, what would your first steps be in building that strategy?
So, I'd really get an understanding as to the underlying product.
Thank you again for your time and for sharing your experiences. We'll be in touch soon about next steps. Take care.
Thank you so much. Take care. As you can see, I did try to blag the interview. I did try to sidestep, I did try to meander a little bit and just make out as if I was a social media manager expert. But the probing nature of the AI was able to see the very nature of my accomplishments and the particular strategies that I would implement. I actually felt really compelled to go into the grassroots as to my background. And what you'll see in terms of the next stage, in terms of the summary of my application, my strengths, and my overall scoring across a host of different variables, you'll see that actually I'm probably not the best person for this particular role. And so now that the interview is over, I can go back into the back office as the business, as the hiring manager, and see how the candidates have done and how they are each individually scored and also collectively ranked. So this is my job suitability, a very lowly 52%, which is pretty bad. In terms of my relevant accomplishments, a pretty poor score of 47%. I did show some drive and some initiative and some of the ability to problem solve. But this is the AI summary of my application as a social media manager. The candidate shows general enthusiasm in leadership and sales, but provides only minimal, unverified social media wins and lacks metrics matching the role's scale. Multiple factors fall below higher ready level, especially talent, comparability, and planning. Recommend against higher unless substantial evidence of large-scale social growth is produced. So this is quite damning and quite heartbreaking, but actually the AI made overwhelmingly the correct assessment. And it goes now into further detail. The interview can be replayed in full, and then it can go into more detail as it relates to relevant accomplishments, drive, problem solving, and how the candidate handled the interview across all of these different metrics. But more importantly here, it gives the hiring manager and the business areas to explore. So if they do decide to move forward with the candidate and interview them in person, it says you request precise examples of campaigns with over 10,000 follower growth. And so it's now giving the interviewer a real robust framework to follow and make sure that the right questions are being asked. And when all of the applications are completed and all the interviews are finished, the AI also provides a very nice ranking where all of the candidates are sat next to each other, and effectively would dismiss candidates who are not quite suitable and focus in on just the top best of the best candidates, thereby saving you so much time and so much money.